All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center. We're going to start out with one of our favorites, Higher Place, Up, Up, Up. So I invite you to stand up and sing along. Here we go. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. No more forward, no more backward, no more spinning around and around. My life is moving ever upward. My feet are leaving the ground. Up, up to a higher place. Up, up, far beyond this time and space. Up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. No more downward, no more darkness, no more wondering the point of it all. My life is destined, oh, for greatness. My soul has answered the call. Up to a higher place. Up, far beyond this time and space. Up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. All right, thank you.
Fine band and congregation, you sound wonderful. Good morning, everybody. And I'd like, oh, you guys are in good voice today. Let's do that again. Good morning. There you go. I like that. And good morning to everybody out there live on Facebook. We got a very special kind of service today. I'm getting some weird noise up here, guys. We got a very special service. Oh, that's better. Thank you. We have a very special service today. It's called Stump the Minister. This is your opportunity to stump me. Now, we've been taking questions for a couple weeks, and I got to say, there's not very many questions in here, which tells me either you all know it or you all just didn't get them in. So I'm going to open it up. After I answer the questions in the basket, because they got them in first, if you want to ask a question, if we have time, you can raise your hand, or you can text me. If you have my phone number, it's 505-859-5695. You can text me. And for those of you on Facebook, I would love it if you would put a question or two in the chat so I can answer some of your questions as well. And then at the end of service today, we're going to have a very, very special presentation. So we may go a little bit long. All right, who's here? I know some people are here for the very first time. I got to meet you already. Welcome. Is there anybody here for the very first time this morning? Other than the people I've already met. All right, well, welcome and thank you for being here. We are so glad. We want to say welcome home. And regardless of what brought you here today, whether you are looking for community, healing, spiritual awakening, whatever it is, we know and pray you will find it here. And please make sure if I get to spend some time with you after the service. All right. What do we do next? Oh, we check in on our social media. Today's social media check-in is Stump the Minister. Stump the Minister. So go ahead and check in with your social media on that. And once you have done that, everybody but me, because I'm going to be reading text questions today, put your phone on Do Not Disturb. And that you can leave it out. We don't have notes today because I have no idea what your questions are. I did not peek. Okay? All righty. And then once you have done that, as I said, please silence your phone. Okay, announcements. If you want to know we have a lot of things that go on here at Unity Spiritual Center. And if you want to know what all is going on, as I always say, check our website, check our Facebook page, check our Instagram. If you have the app, you can check everything's in the app, or you can call the office during our office hours during the week. And I will give you just a quick rundown of what we have coming up this week. On Monday, as always, Tai Chi and Qigong, the diabetes wellness support. Oh, somebody's calling. On Tuesday, Reiki night. Wednesday, again, Tai Chi and Qigong. No, we do not have the 12 Powers class. That's done. Thursdays, grief group, 16-step group, gay and bisexual men's support group, and now our featured announcements. Next Sunday, first Sunday in October, we have our potluck, and the theme for October's potluck is, guess what? Balloon Fiesta. Don't bring anything that'll get us high. But you can, yeah, I'm not going to say any more about that. What? Yeah, that's not open to the public. Oh, I don't know. You probably better check the offices for Thursday night groups. Michael, are you in the building? Yes. Thursday night? I think we have to go somewhere else. Okay. Call Michael. He'll let you know what's going on Thursday nights, because we have a group that rents the building for Yom Kippur. Yeah, okay. Let's be done. All right. Way of Masteries, a Zoom class with Reverend Geo Downer. Starts on October 6th at 5 p.m. You can sign up online. On Wednesday, October 8th, that's Wednesday, October 8th, we have an evening with Reverend Carrie Barrett. And you can go on our website, and there's a link to her website. It's going to be a great evening. I highly encourage you to be here. And now with that, I am going to turn it over to our trustee of the day, Darcy.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here with you, and what a great fall morning, right? I love these crisp mornings. New Mexico in the fall is like my favorite. So to start off, let's do our mission. So we inspire spiritual growth through honoring many paths, education, prayer, sacred service, and abundant living. And our vision, centered in love, we see a harmonious world of divine expression. Core values. We are Christ-centered, loving, inclusive, joyous, uplifting, open-minded, and fun. And our credo. We believe all people are created with sacred worth. We serve all people in emotional and spiritual ways. We welcome the diversity of all, God and unity, leave no one out. And there's a few ways to give. So we do in person during our Sunday service. There's also the Church Center app, which I use quite a bit. It's very easy. And you can also go online. There's the website right there. You can do the text, and we have a code right there as well. So lots of ways to do that. So our offering blessing. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Everybody smiles in the same language. shining through. That curve at the corner of your mouth sets everybody straight. Let your smile illuminate the view. Everybody smiles in the same language. Everybody wins with a contagious grin. A smile doesn't cost you anything, but there's so much good that it brings. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 everybody smiles in the same language. A smile, let your light come shining through. That curve at the corner of your mouth sets everybody straight. Be bold, be beautiful, just be you. Be bold, be beautiful, just be you. Be bold, be beautiful, just be you. Everybody smiles in the same language. Oh, 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 oh. Everybody smiles in the same language. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. So our prosperity dedication. In a universe overflowing with the allness of God, all the needs and desires of Unity Spiritual Center and those we serve are bountifully met from every direction, known and unknown, expected and unexpected. Our abundant good is here now. Thank you, God.
All right. Thank you, Darcy. And we have a congregational song, so I invite you to stand up. And we're going to sing A Light in This World. Here we go. Here we go. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. Oh, we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. Thank you so much.
Good morning. This morning, Susie Orchard and me, Martine Bachman, are going to be your prayer chaplains available for you to pray with. After the service, we'll be on either side of the sanctuary in our little white stoles. And if you have a prayer need, someone you'd like to pray with, or prayers for yourself, please come and see us. We would love to pray with you. Also, if you have a prayer request for the prayer chaplain team, you will find prayer request slips in the pockets in front of your seats. You can fill those out and put them in the prayer request box in the lobby.
In this very room, there's wide enough love for one like me. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for one like me. And there's quite enough hope and quite enough power to chase away any for Spirit, God's Spirit is in this very room.
I am divine. I find beauty everywhere. When I am fully present to my inherent divinity, I find beauty everywhere. Looking up at shimmering stars, walking through a field of marigolds, or sitting by the ocean, I rejoice in the beauty of nature. It truly is a wonderful world. The beauty that delights my senses also lives in me. The divine is everywhere, present in its totality. That means it surrounds me and is me. My talents and unique abilities are manifested from my divinity. They make me a beautiful and integral part of the world. When I live into the fullness of my divinity, my expression of my humanity is simply beautiful. I am radiant. I manifest my humanity from my divinity. I honor the presence of the divine within myself and all others. We are all beautiful. I am divine. I find beauty everywhere.
And as we contemplate that statement, I am divine. I find beauty everywhere. We allow our awareness to drop to our heart center, to become one with the energy that God is, the energy of the divine, the energy of beauty, and the energy of one mind. I am divine. I find beauty everywhere. As I live in that consciousness of divinity, I see beyond appearances. I see beyond the noise of the world. I see the beauty that is unfolding each and every day. In this fall season, I see the harvest celebrations of many cultures, many spiritual paths, and of all life. I see the leaves changing colors, reminding me of the beauty of the world, the beauty of creation, and the beauty of all life. Diverse, unique, and each one an individuated expression of the divine. I remember that if everything was one color, how boring life would be. I behold the tapestry, the different notes of songs, the different voices and languages. And I rejoice in that wondrous diversity. I rejoice in the many expressions of love. I rejoice that I live in a world that is beautiful beyond the human senses. And that when I rise in consciousness, I see from a higher place. And I see where there are those who have forgotten their divinity. I have the privilege, the honor, and the ability to be a model. And when I forget mine, I know that there are those around me who will bring me into remembrance. For in truth, behind it all, there is only one presence and one power in my life and in the universe, God, the good omnipotent. And what is God? God is the principle that is creation itself, grounded in only one energy, an energy that encompasses all others, the energy of divine love. I feel that love all around me, in the smiles of those I meet, in the touch of a loved one's hand, in the beautiful music I hear, in the crisp autumn morning. In higher consciousness, there is only one energy, the energy of love. And as I anchor myself in that energy, as I allow it to radiate through me, I become one. I behold the beauty. And centered in love, I allow myself to rest in the silence, receiving love, radiating love. And if there is any place in my life or in the world where I think there is a lack of love, I send my love there now, in the silence. And in this vibration of love, I ground myself. I remember as I go through life in the week ahead, regardless of what may happen around me, I receive love. I radiate love. I am loved, beloved, and loving. For I am one with God and one with all creation. And in that realization, I remember that there's quite enough love and quite enough power and quite enough joy for all the world in this very room.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. And there's quite enough hope and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For Spirit, God's Spirit, is in this very room. All right. Thank you. We'd like to bring up our friend David Craig, and he's going to sing for us today. This is a tune written by Eddie Watkins Jr., who was here once. But, is your mic on?
Checking.
I want to make sure. Okay, it's called Get Out of the Way. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Running around fixing this and that, giving it up to God and then taking it back. Just release and let it go. You don't even have to think about it no more. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way and let God do his thing. Look like the weight of the world is on your back. Just take a deep breath and give yourself some slack. All that drama ain't good for you. You couldn't change what is if you wanted to. Get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way, yeah.
Get out of the way and let God do his thing. Now take it back. Gonna shine and the river's gotta flow. The tide's gonna rise without you say so. The universe is working in its goodest form. You don't plant a seed, then dig it up to see if it's growing. Just get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way and let God do his thing. Now one more time. Get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way. Get out of the way and let God. Get out of the way and let God. Get out of the way and let God do his thing. Yeah.
David Craig.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. David will be back.
Wow, thank you, David. Woo, let's give it up. David and the Soul Shine Band. Woo! Always nice to have you sing for us, David. Get us rocking, get the juices flowing. All right, that song was get out of the way and let God do his thing. I'm going to get out of the way and let God answer some of these questions. So, all right. For those of you who don't know, we did this about a year and a half ago. And we had some wonderful, wonderful questions. And the rules are simple. I don't get to see the questions until I draw them out of the basket or look at them on those of you who are texting. And again, reminder, those of you on Facebook, you can send me some questions and I will check them too. And any ones that I do not get to, I will be sending out an email. And, I need my reading glasses, which I don't have. Okay, God, help me here. Who said that? Novella, come here. You get to be my reader. Actually, some of these are in big print. I can read them, but go ahead.
Okay. Why do we need a prayer for protection? It certainly conjures the idea of God outside of ourselves.
Good question. Wow, what a good one to start with. So just a little history. The prayer of protection was written by James Dillett Freeman during World War II. James Dillett Freeman was the head of Silent Unity, which publishes the Daily Word and receives all the prayer calls throughout the week, throughout the day. It's a 24/7, 365-day, 300 and some odd year old prayer ministry that is the foundation of unity. So naturally, during World War II, he received a lot of prayers from people who had family members that were fighting overseas or were in harm's way, and they wanted some kind of prayer for them. Do we need it? Well, yes, even though that does kind of imply a God outside of us, and in unity we do believe God is within us, God is within all creation. But we are human beings we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And in that human experience, we are also human. And we do have this sense of a power or an energy outside of us. We call it God, the Christ energy, whatever you want to call it. And yes, to connect with it, it is sometimes very beneficial to put God outside there and have that conversation. I always kind of joke, if you see me driving down the street and there's nobody in the car with me, but my lips are moving, that's because God and I are having a conversation. And sometimes it's, what are you thinking, God? We are human beings, and it's a way to relate to God in our humanness and receive that reassurance. That's why we have our prayer chaplains, is to have that connection and to remind us of that power that is all around us. So, very good. Okay, next question. I think I'm mic'd. Am I not working? Oh, Novella's not. Yeah, you can stand at the podium, or you can hold the mic.
I'll hold the mic. This one has no question on it. It's a blank.
Okay. So the answer is, no, I don't know. Yes, you are divine.
This one's not.
What is the difference between your soul and your spirit?
Oh, boy. Whew, how many hours do we have? Is that a geo question? No? You were laughing. Well, it kind of depends on who you ask. However, spirit is what we are in truth. We are more than just this fleshly avatar vehicle we use to move through life and have life experiences. We are the divine that God is expressing as us. The soul is that part of us that is memory, and I'm talking about spiritual memory, that carries that with us from life to life, if you believe in reincarnation, which many of us do. We don't have a doctrine on that, so it's okay if you don't, but that's one interpretation. And So the soul is the vessel that contains all of that, all the experiences, all of the knowledge, all of the information that we have accumulated in our spiritual journey, in our spirit's journey. Spirit is that essence of God that we are, and you can call it the Christ, you can call it anything you want. Okay?
Are the vision, mission, core values, and credo unity ABQ specific, or are they generalized to all of the unity churches?
They are the...
And or what is the history of those statements?
Well, I wasn't here when the statements we use right now were created. They are specific to our Unity Center. Every Unity Center has its own mission, vision, core values. Not everybody has a credo. We are unique in that. And they are a number of years old now, and quite honestly, one of the visions I have for this coming year is to create a new, more contemporary mission, vision, core values, and credo. Or we may meet, and by the way, that's you guys will be doing that, all of you who want to participate in that. It's not something I do, it's not something the board does. We do it together, we collaborate on it. We may decide we like them the way they are, or we may say it's time for something new. I will share that personally I'm not all that thrilled with our vision statement. It's very warm and fuzzy, and it is great, it's wonderful, but I kind of have a vision of a vision that is a little more specific, a little more clear, and is a call to action as well. You know, it's easy to say I see a harmonious world of divine expression, but do we really? And if so, how do we help others see that? Good question. So whoever wrote that, you'll get to be a part of recreating that next year.
What is the difference between spiritualism and metaphysics?
Wow. Well, it kind of depends on what year you ask that question, actually. Metaphysics, this is my definition, okay? Metaphysics is the science of spirituality, whereas spirituality is what we are becoming, what we are expressing, and where we have come from. So, simply put, I would define it as spirituality is the awareness, understanding, and use of metaphysical principles.
Now let me re-ask the question.
Okay?
What is the difference between spiritualism and metaphysics?
Spiritualism, well, I'm not sure I understand exactly what they're asking there. There is a spiritual path that was popular in the early to mid part of the 20th century and still exists, called spiritualism, which has to do more with entities outside of us, contacting people who have gone before, and I mean, it gets into a lot of different aspects of all of that. Charles Fillmore actually studied a lot of that as he was developing his philosophy that became what we believe today. There is value in all of that. All paths lead to an awakening. It's spiritualism, the path, the specific path. We really don't do much in unity because we focus on God within, Spirit as us, rather than, out there. Does that help? Okay. And if you want to know more, see me later. These are good questions. Somebody wrote a book.
Okay. If you have a terminally ill friend in pain who asks for your help in helping him exit this realm immediately, suppose you, 1, help him find a method to acquire the medication equipment for his choice, advise him as to methods and what is needed but play no active role, or 3, I think the ad was supposed to be 2, object to his intentions and mention it to his mental health provider. Does Unity Church approve or disapprove of these actions, and what are the consequences? Or is it this issue left up to the individual Unity members?
Well, short answer, yeah, I'm going to need to look at that one. Short answer is yes, that's up to the individual Unity members. If you were to come to me and ask that as a minister in counseling, I would say make sure whatever you are doing is legal so you don't end up in prison or anything like that. Certainly support your loved one in their choice. It is their choice. In Unity, we believe that life is eternal. And there comes a time when this vessel just simply wears out. This sounds maybe a little crass, but I kind of compare it to owning a car. You buy a new car, you drive it for a couple 100,000 miles or so, and eventually it wears out, and it's time to get a new one. And it is difficult because this is kind of who we are in this experience. It's not the truth of who we are. It's not our eternal self. It's not our spirit, but our spirit occupies this vessel. And there does come a time for all of us, I haven't met anybody who's figured out a way not to do this, when we abandon this vehicle. And that is perfectly okay. So this is kind of my opinion. This is not the opinion of Unity officially, although I think you would find most of us would agree on this. It is your choice, your right, your body. And we would say that to anything involving your body. Just making sure I did object to. No, I would not object to somebody's intentions on this. I would support them in their choice.
Is there any progress in Unity uniting with other New Thought organizations?
Wow. Well, yes. In fact, exciting things are happening within the movement right now. Many of you may have heard, for you who haven't, you may know that Unity has always had 2 separate bodies, if you will. We've had our Unity World Headquarters, which is Unity Village, Unity Publications, Daily Word, Unity Prayer, Silent Unity, retreats, all of that kind of stuff, and Unity Worldwide Ministries, which trains and ordains ministers, credentials, licensed Unity teachers, is somewhat of a governing body for Unity as a movement, although each Unity church is independent. So what is happening right now and will be being voted on in November is the 2 organizations becoming one. So everything will be one organization. And I could spend a long time, and maybe I will as we get closer so y'all know what's going on, how there ended up being 2 organizations. It was just the needs of the time in the 1950s. Ministers felt they needed support. There wasn't an entity to do that at the time, so Unity Worldwide Ministries was created. And over the years, it took on more and more tasks. So the great news is there was a straw poll just last month among Unity ministers and credentialed leaders who are the ones who will be voting on this. And it was 286-3 to unify. So yeah, that's exciting. And now with other New Thought movements, Unity and Centers for Spiritual Living, CSL, have reciprocity as far as ordination and all of that goes. So if I wanted to, I could serve in a CSL church, and a CSL minister could serve in a Unity church. In fact, Reverend Brendolyn Batchelor in Santa Fe at the Unity Church is an ordained CSL minister. So we already recognize each other. Oh, by the way, Unity Village also has all of the CSL archives. That just happened a couple weeks ago, actually. So I think there's a movement happening. We're coming together where Unity and CSL especially, they're the 2 major New Thought ministries in the world, our coming together as one. There's talk of only having one seminary for both of us because really, essentially, we have the same beliefs. The only reason there's two is when we were formed in the late 1800s, early 1900s, it was geography where we were. That's the only reason there's actually any separation.
Unity was more conservative through the early years. When did their beliefs begin to loosen and become more diversified?
When people began awakening. Society has changed. All of society is much more progressive than it was in the 1920s and late 1800s. We've learned a lot more. We've discovered that different people of different colors, different ways of loving, different spiritual expressions, we're really all one. And we have far more in common than we ever did different. We've learned a lot more about spirit and metaphysics and quantum physics. So yeah, we are not a static work. We don't have, a creed from 1,000 years ago that we are stuck with. We are an evolving work, an evolving movement. So as society evolves, we evolve. As we evolve, hopefully society evolves.
Please explain the concept God expressing. Who is God, and what and how is God expressing?
Oh, well, that's easy. When you leave here today, go home and look in the mirror, and there's God. That is God. God is also all of creation. In unity, we say God is principle. Now, that principle is rather difficult to explain, I know, but the principle is the foundation of the universe itself, of creation itself. I like to say God is creation and even more. So even that chair you are sitting on, in my understanding, is God expressing. But most importantly, you are God expressing. You are God expressing when you speak words that uplift and empower each other. You are God expressing when you support each other. You are God expressing when you give your gifts and share them with the world. You are God expressing when you show love for people maybe who are different than you. So yes, God is expressing mostly in our experience through us, but God is expressing through all of creation.
Good one to follow up with. Does God have lips?
Oh, I could do so much with that. Yes, they are your lips, the words that come out of your mouths. We talk a lot about energy. And Nikolai Tesla said, if you want to understand creation or the universe, think in terms of frequency, energy, and vibration. God is energy. God is high vibrational energy. When we speak words that are less, that put people down or that complain or that give power to what we don't want in the world, that's a very low vibration. And that can be measured scientifically now. So yes, your lips are God's lips.
When you have lost a loved one, what words or actions from another comforted you the most?
I'll be honest, right now I can't think of any specific. I know there were many, many people when I've been in that place and had those experiences that said what I needed to hear in that moment. And I cannot recall specifically what they were. I can think of two things that two quotes I have come across throughout the years that have comforted me in those times. One was by Richard Bach, and I believe it was in the book Jonathan Livingston Seagull, where Jonathan Livingston is saying, if all there is here and now, then somewhere in the middle of here and now, our paths will cross again. I found that to be very comforting. And there's another one we do quite often when we do Celebration of Life services called the Parable of Immortality. And it goes, I'll try to do it correctly, word for word. There is a ship at my side, ready to to set sail into the open ocean. She is a thing of beauty, with her sails gleaming white in the morning sun. And as she sets sail and heads out towards that place where the sea and the sky come down to mingle with one another, someone at my side says, "Look, there she goes." Goes where? She is just as large and strong in mast and hull and spar as she was when she left my side, and just as able to carry her load of living freight to other shores. And it is just at that moment when the sea and the sky come down to mingle with one another, and someone at my side says, "There she goes," that there are other voices on other shores watching for her coming and ready to take up the glad shout, "Look, here she comes."
I'm impressed you remembered that so well.
Is that?
Okay, that's all of them in the basket. You want me to
Let's
read
see.
from the phone?
Yeah, I can read from the phone.
Okay.
Thank you, Novella. All right. Okay. What is Unity's view of Jesus, and why is this important in this time and place? Wonderful, wonderful question. Unity sees Jesus as our teacher and way shower. I have made a lifetime of studying ancient scriptures, the original, oldest versions of the Gospels and the stories we have, and there's far more than are contained in what we call the Bible. And I would say most of what is contained in the Bible, especially the New Testament, has been changed and mistranslated, sometimes intentionally, sometimes accidentally, throughout the ages, to where I believe the original message of Jesus was lost. As you know, because I say it almost every Sunday, and I get to say it again, Jesus' mission statement was, you could say it with me, "I have come that you may have life and have it abundantly." Yes, what does that mean? He came to teach us that we are spiritual beings. We are God expressing. And as we come into that awareness, we discover health and wholeness. We discover getting our needs and everybody else's needs met. And that's the important piece. Because sometimes there's a movement we call the prosperity gospel that teaches, well, if you're getting all your needs met, if you're prosperous and abundant, it's because you're special and God loves you better than somebody else. That's not what we believe. So when we say life abundant, understand that. We want that for everybody, and everybody is worthy of it. And our job is to be in that realization and to help others get to that place. It is our role to lift each other up. That's why Jesus said, "When I am lifted up, I draw all others unto me." He was not saying, "Put me on a pedestal and worship me." He was saying, "Rise in the same consciousness I have." We call it the Christ consciousness. And rise in that consciousness, because when you rise in that consciousness, those around you are raised up. When one of you rises in that consciousness, you lift me up. We're in this together. If we're all one, then we are one with each other rising up. So Jesus was a teacher and a way shower. And by the way, don't throw anything at me when I say this. He did not die for your sins, because that would, number one, imply that you are a sinner in the traditional meaning of that word. Sin is a French archery term, did not exist until the Middle Ages. Was not in any of the oldest gospels that we have available to us, guys. It did not exist. It was not part of Judaic culture in those days. Now, do we err? Yes, we do. We do err. And that error requires that we do what? Repent, which simply means to change our thinking, to turn our thinking around. So Jesus came to awaken us to who we are, what we are capable of, and call us into that. He was a teacher. He was a way shower. Was he light years ahead of us? Yes, definitely. But we strive to continue that understanding. That's why we have this big conflict right now in Unity based on what's going on in the world today. Do we still call ourselves Christians? because Christianity in postmodern times has taken on a different meaning, I believe, than what Jesus taught. So we could say we are because we follow the teachings of Jesus, not the mythology of some Jesus that, am I running out of time? I'm getting, phone. Why is it important in this time and place? Because we've got to get back to the teachings of Jesus if we are going to evolve and survive. Plain and simple. The religion of sin, shame, and blame is tearing our world apart instead of love, empowerment, and inclusivity. Okay? So. Okay, looks like I have another question. Is that what you're telling me? Facebook. All right. Yay, Facebook people. Let me get here. Let me get to our page. Bear with me, folks. I love it when our Facebook friends ask questions. Can you just tell me what it is? No. Novella took it.
Light me up, Sal. From Chris Eklund. Sometimes the use of dualistic language in unity is confusing. Is there acknowledgement of that and a movement to use the unity language?
Wow, really good question. Well, yes. Thank you. Dualism, yes, there is only God, it's all one. And yet, as I said, we are human beings. And naturally, because we are human beings and we see the world in a dualistic way, it's part of our DNA. I'm going to be doing a whole series coming up on healing DNA, societal, spiritual, personal, you name it. So this will touch on that. But yes, there is only one, but we are human beings. And we do tend to see the world dualistically. Now, I like to think we're growing through that and moving beyond that. But we got a ways to go, folks. And I'm talking not just we in this room. I'm talking about we as the human species. We're not there yet. So we use language sometimes that meets people where they are. Okay? And at the same time, we know it's all one. If we were to just jump into everything's one, there is no dualism of any kind, no good and bad, which is a perception, people wouldn't understand what we're saying. They have a hard enough time with unity and new thought teachings as it is. So it's really all about meeting people where they are. Okay. And got time for one more question, if I have one more question.
How about the last one that I texted you?
Gio. You know, it's harder when you have another minister in the organization, in the congregation.
It'll be easy, I promise.
Is this the one about salvation?
Yes.
Okie dokie. As Unity Truth students, how can we best live in, through, and as this daily and moment by moment salvation? How can we best demonstrate this inner overcoming? So I think probably first we have to define what salvation is. Traditionally in the Christian religion, salvation is being washed in the blood of Jesus, accepting Jesus as your Lord and Savior, admitting you are a sinner, all of that. Most of us grew up in a denomination that's what we were taught. Salvation literally means, though, being in the energy of something. Being in that same energy that Jesus had, that same energy that Buddha had, that same energy that Muhammad had. Being in that place of oneness. So, I got to read the question again. So, how can we best live in, through, and as this daily, moment by moment salvation? Number one, we can remind ourselves through affirmations, through meditation. That's where meditation really is a powerful, powerful practice to have, because it sets us in that consciousness every morning, if you do it every morning. That place of understanding wholeness, understanding oneness. Because when we can understand that within ourselves, we can see it in others. And we can see our oneness with each other, regardless of who they are. And demonstrating the inner overcoming is, number one, being gentle with yourself. Because if we're gentle with ourselves, we can be gentle with others. We're not going to do it perfectly all the time. All of you have heard me say, we're going to do things and we're going to fail at them. And failure's okay. As I used to tell my students when I was a school teacher, they have my permission to fail with enthusiasm, because that's how we learn. So when we learn to be gentle with ourselves, we can forgive ourselves, we can let it go, and try again. And in trying again, we get better and better and better every time. We get better at loving others every time. We get better at loving ourselves. We get better at appreciating the beauty and the diversity of the world. We get better in being Christ expressing. And Christ, I don't mean the guy with the beard. I mean that Christ energy. He probably didn't have much of a beard, by the way. So salvation is getting into the same vibration that our great teachers were in, that we truly were created in. Okay, Gio, you agree? Disagree? Have more to add?
I was hoping you'd read the Charles Fillmore quote that's at the beginning.
I will do that. Okay, let me get it here. Gio and I text a lot. Here we go. Is it this one? The belief that Jesus in an outer way?
Yep.
Okay. The belief that Jesus in an outer way atoned for our sin is not salvation, correct? Salvation is based solely on inner overcoming and a change in consciousness. Couldn't say it better myself. That was Charles Fillmore. Okay? Okay. Any quick questions before we end? The quote? No. Yes.
I have one.
Okay, hang on. The belief that Jesus in an outer way atoned for our sins is not salvation. Salvation is based solely on an inner overcoming and a change in consciousness. So it's all about changing consciousness. Okay, Novella?
Who was Cora Fillmore and why was she important?
Cora Fillmore was Myrtle Fillmore's and Charles's assistant. She kind of did everything for them, a lot of the detail stuff. Very, very good friend of Myrtle. When Myrtle passed, Charles then, after a time, married Cora. Cora was kind of, I call her the forgotten Fillmore, but she was very instrumental in a lot of Charles's later writings, very influential. She was a very wise person, and she doesn't get the credit that she deserves. Okay, one quick question. I was not going to take it, but I am because it's a great question. I believe from somebody who sent it in chat or on Facebook. How do we have oneness with those who support oppression and violence? Wow. Great question and a difficult one to answer, because in our humanness, we don't want to have oneness. But when we are in that place of awareness, we can recognize that anyone who is supporting violence or anything like that is not awake, is in probably a place of deep pain themselves. You know, they say hurt people hurt people. So one of the ways we can support is hold the high watch, be that model of compassion, that model of empathy, that model of caring, and see the best in them and call it forth. You know, oftentimes I would have kids that, you know, they would be bullying somebody or somebody, and I'd ask them simply, is this really who you are? And oftentimes they would say yes, and I would say again, is this really who you are? And I would invite them to go deeper and go deeper and go deeper. And eventually they would go, well, no, maybe not. So we support people in that place, in that consciousness, not in what they are doing, but in who they are in truth. And our job is to call them, to remind them that they are more than they have become. That's one of my favorite movie lines from The Lion King. You are more than you have become. And all of us are more than we have become. So let's keep working on becoming more and more of the truth of who we are, because we're all still on the journey. So thank you all for these questions. I may send out more and more detail throughout the week, and it's been fun. We'll do it again.
David Craig has another song for us. This is a beautiful song written by Penny Nichols, Penny Nichols.
In every life, some darkness falls. You look around, you've lost it all. When your world is upside down, oh, who will you call? Just remember who you are. Miracle child of the stars. When your world has all gone wrong, just sing this song. I am becoming stronger. I am becoming whole. I walk in beauty, in the healing light of love, in the healing, in the healing, in the healing light of love. Some things in life just can't be shared or be redone and repaired. Look inside to find this song. You can forgive and move on. I am becoming stronger. I am becoming whole. I walk in beauty, in the healing light of love, in the healing, in the healing, in the healing light of love. So open up your heart and mind. Let your love light shine. Let the world be your friend. You'll get back all the love you send. I am becoming stronger. I am becoming whole. I walk in of love. Amen.
David Craig, thank you so much